Hello student of class 12. So let's move to our last part of the chapter, Introduction to Internet and Web. In our last class we have done up to web browser and its components. So I hope now you all can easily give the examples of web browsers. So from this chapter now you just need to go through all the things thoroughly so that you can be able to give answers, short answers. These are especially for short answers. Okay, now next you can see that browser setting means if you wish to want to set the browsing your, then you can set it. There are the steps have been given, so you need not have to learn those steps, just go through it once so that you will be able to give the answers. Clear? Now next is setting for cookies. Now I have already explained this in class 11 also. What is cookies? Cookies are nothing but the records of the browsing activity. Okay, that whenever you are browsing something over the web browser, then few records, short records get remain, that we can say as cookies. And even what happened, that cookies we can delete also once moving to the history of the web browser and clearing or clearing browsing history, you can clear the cookies. Okay, so this is cookies are nothing but the small text files stored on a user's computer or used by website to remember basic information or to record the user's browsing activity that I explained you. Now next move to permission. Just permission means any kind of permissions that on your web browser. So there is few steps. Next is plugin or add-ons. This is quite important terms. A plugin is what? It is nothing but a software which adds a specific feature to an existing computer, such as web browser. Okay, computer programs such as web browser, like what it does is just add the specific features like emoticons, reading pdfs, changing your browsing location, or adding to-do list. Means some specific features can be added with the help of this plugins or add-ons, or you can say extension. Okay, now next the important portion is email. Students, you all are aware with the fact email, right? So what is email? It is nothing but used to send writing messages between individual or group of individuals. But to send email, it's sent from and received by mail servers. Okay, computer that are dedicated to processing and directing emails. So and email can be done sent with the help of internet. Okay, now the most important part is that to send email, a email account is required. Okay, now those who don't have email account, you need to create your email account, then and you must know the address of the one to whom you want to send email, then it can be done. Okay, in email address there is a email address, for example amit.slg@gmail.com. So from here, one thing we can see that email address has two parts separated by at the rate symbol. Now the on the left side of the @separator is that we call, like I told you, amit.slg, that is the username. But after that email address that contain the server, or you can say host or network that services email. Okay, it is sometimes also called the email server. So I hope this is clear that email address consists of. Now the question might come in such a way that write any email address and discuss its parts. That time you have to give the example of email address. You have to write which is username and which is domain name. Okay, the portion on the right of at the rate identifies the server or host, and we can call that as domain name also. Okay, now next is advantage of email and limitation of email that you need to go through. Then email format types, rich text format, plain text. Students, here this extension means .txt or .rtf. You have to keep in mind this extension, so that you can identify that what if it's .txt, then it is plain text. Is .rtf, then rich text format. You must be able to identify. So what happened in plain mails? Now see what is spam. Spam is defined as irrelevant or inappropriate message sent on the internet to a large number of people. Spam means what? It is sent to a large number of people at a time. But junk mail is the unwanted advertisement or promotional material received from mail or email. Junk mail is the unwanted message, and spam is the defined as inappropriate message that is sent to a large number of people via mail. So these two terms typically are very interchangeably. Okay, in the early days of internet, it was possible to send mails to everyone on the system. Nowadays we have lot of spam filter that save us from a lot of spam. Now, protocol used in email. What happen in case of spam? That spammers means the people who send the spam send their messages to hundred thousands or even million of email addresses at once, with the hope that at least a few people will respond. Means at least someone will respond to their message, and it may work. Okay, so this is the difference what spam and junk mail is. Now next is protocol used in email. Now these whatever now we'll discuss, these are the protocols that are used for the email message. Now IAMP, student, all the full forms you have to go through. This is Internet Message Protocol, is a standard protocol for accessing email from local server. Okay. Next is POP3, the Post Office Protocol 3 provides a simple standardized way for user to access mailboxes and download messages to their computer. Means to access mailbox and whatever is there in the mailbox, to download this. So for that this POP3 has been used. Now SMTP is a simple mail transfer protocol, is used when you send mail to another email user. SMTP protocol is used. So it is used by the mail transfer agent to deliver the sent email to the recipient mail server. So quite simple. Whenever you want to send a mail, that time SMTP is used. Now HTTP protocol, this I also discussed before, is not a protocol dedicated for email communication, but it can be used for accessing mailbox. Also called web-based email, the protocol can be used to compose or retrieve email from an email account. So to compose, to retrieve, this protocol HTTP is used. So Hotmail, Gmail, Yahoo are the good are some good examples of using HTTP as an email protocol. Okay, next is chat. You all are familiar. Online textual talk is called chatting. Means when you are over net, you are messaging someone, that is chatting. Clear? So in telephonic conversion, you say something, people hear it and respond. You hear their responses on the spot and can reply instantly. In the same manner, in chatting, you type a message on your screen which is immediately received by the recipient. Then the recipient can type a message in the response to your message, which is received by you instantly. If you want to chat, you need to log on to a server that provides chat facility. Okay, now a chat room is a website or a part of some online services that provides an online venue for communities of users with a common interest to communicate in real time, means instantly. So there are various types of chat. Instant messaging means instantly you can message. ICQ, okay, then IRC, web based chat. So the various like Yahoo chat. So from here, student, you have to know the types of chats along with their examples. Okay. Now next and the last topic is voice over internet protocol, is a technology that makes audio and video calls possible from any internet connected device having a microphone and speakers. You must have made calls using apps like WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook, Messenger, Skype. These software app use voice over internet protocol to make call over internet. So for that we use VO is in small letter and IP internet protocol. It takes audio voice input and convert them into digital information so that it can be transferred over internet along with other data on IP. Many examples are basic WhatsApp, Zoom, Meet, then whatever nowadays we are using these, they all use VoIP. There are two major reasons to use VoIP, that is lower cost and increased functionality. So this you can include in your advantages also, and disadvantages are also there, that possible if both the caller and the receiver have the right software and hardware to speak to one another. So if there is no right software, then it is not possible to call or receive. There is no guarantee of calls audio and video quality when using. Quality guarantee is not there, that whether there is a superior quality of video or audio will be there. Even when it's high quality, it cannot match up the voice quality of the normal telephone line. Okay, means like whenever we are talking over the normal telephone line, the voice that comes original, that originality, it might be hidden out here. It may not work for emergency service numbers like police or fire services regular numbers. Okay, for emergency numbers, this VoIP voice over internet protocol will not work. So these are the few advantages and disadvantages that you need to go through. So dear student, the chapter introduction to internet and web is finished. I'll be sending you questions. The most important thing is that you have to go through all the chapter thoroughly. Okay, but then also I'll send you the questions also. So those questions you have to learn, because all are short questions, mostly based on short questions or maximum 2 marks. So I'll send you the solved problem from the book also. Now one thing I skipped, students. The thing is that while discussing email, email, if you have seen that email window, then there first of all we'll see two means to whom we want to send. Okay, then we see that CC is there. Okay, CC means the email address of the CC full form is carbon copy, recipient of mail, or means suppose you want to send mail to me. Okay, then in to you have to write my email address, and CC means if you want to send some other person, so as a acknowledgement that or you are sending me, but you want to send to other person also, but the main uh, main part you want to send to me, then we use CC. Okay, now to some other person if you want to send, then it will be CC. Then now BCC is also there, blind carbon copy. The email addresses of the blind carbon copy recipients are what happened here, the blind in the carbon copy, then other will not able to see that to whom you have sent. So for that this BCC is also out there also. Like for example, suppose you want to mail me one document that I can see, and you want to send to your two more friends. Okay, two more friends from the same class, then you have given in the CC, you have given the address of those two more friends. Now you want to send this to some other person to whom you don't want to show us that you are sending to that person also. For that that person address you have to give to that BCC. Okay, then what will happen, we will not be, we and the CC, me and the CC person will not be able to see that BCC name to whom you are sending the message, but it will be sent to his or her also. Okay, so that for that we use two means CC and BCC. This is the difference. Okay, it is also there in the book. Just go through once so that you can write by yourself also. Okay student, I'll send you questions. Before that, just go through this. Thank you.